time once again for Uncle Matt's bedtime story.
Hello everybody, it's Uncle Matt, and I'm here to read you another bedtime story. And tonight's bedtime story is a mystery. And I'm hoping that you can help me solve it. It's kind of a cry for help. The person here that we're going to read about is looking for something. Maybe you can help me. Here we go. Chapter 2 is Missing. That's the title of the story, written by Josh Lieb, illustrated by Kevin Cornell. And this story was copyright in... Let me get to it. The copyright date is missing. No, we're good. 2019. Are you ready? Here we go. All right. Chapter 1. Wait, right away. It says wait. I don't want to alarm you, but Chapter 2 is missing. It was definitely here yesterday, and it can't have walked off on its own, so that can only mean someone stole it. Whoever took Chapter 2 didn't leave a ransom note. I would pay any price to get Chapter 2 back. Obviously, because without Chapter 2, the book isn't complete. If you happen to see Chapter 2, or if you notice any suspicious characters lurking around the book, please call the police at 925-55-FIND-2 and ask for Detective McGarrigan. She's the police officer in charge of the investigation, or you can email her at detmcgar@gmail.com, or you can tweet her at Chapter 2 Book. Now, maybe you don't believe me about Chapter 2 being missing. Well, turn the page and take a look for yourself. Oh, this is terrible. Look, Chapter 2 is missing. Okay, Chapter 3. And furthermore, continued Milo the janitor, I think you owe me an apology. Milo, I said, I don't have time for apologies. Can't you see that Chapter 2 is missing? Milo shrugged. That doesn't make any difference to me. I'm just the janitor here after all. Then get back to work while I deal with this crisis, I said. But first, please return the period that should be at the end of the sentence. No period there. I didn't think you wanted that, said Milo, and I thought it would look better at the end of this sentence next to the period I've already got. Wow, fighting about punctuation and periods. Well, it doesn't look better. It looks silly, I said, but don't bother returning it now. I don't want it after you've used it. Milo picked up his mop and walked out, grumbling under his breath about how nobody respected a book's janitor, even though he was the one who kept the book clean enough to read. Just then, Detective McGarrigan entered. I have good news, she said, with a frown on her face. Good news with a frown. Oh, Chapter 4. What? I said. Have you found Chapter 2? No, she said. Well, what's the news? I asked. I don't have any news, she said. I was puzzled. But you ended Chapter 3 by telling me you had good news. Now you're telling me that you have no news? Yes, said Detective McGarrigan, and everyone knows that no news is good news. Oh. I couldn't argue with that logic. After all, she is a detective. Has anyone called you at 925-55-FIND-2 and left a tip? Or have you gotten any emails at detmcgar@gmail.com. Any tweets at Chapter 2 book? Yes, she said, but I can't tell you what they said. Why not? I asked. Because that information is supposed to be in Chapter 5. Chapter 5. But this is Chapter 5, I said. Detective McGarrigan looked around. So it is, she said. Boy, these chapters are really whizzing by. Remember when I walked in back in Chapter 3? Don't get sentimental on me, I said. Just tell me what tips the readers had given you. Maybe one of them's a clue. So here you go. The detective is playing back the messages from the tip line, and some of them don't look good. It's at the end of the book. You got another one that says, "You are so dumb." That's not cool. You got a sad face. And then you got someone saying, "He is so dumb." I don't know. I don't think so, she said. All I've gotten are messages from a bunch of crazy people telling me that I'm very, very stupid. And that you're very, very, very stupid. Well, that's obviously not true, I said. Exactly, she agreed. So how can I believe anything they say? Then they tell me all kinds of crazy theories that Chapter 2 is hidden on the inside back cover of the book, and that you have to use a mirror to read it, and that the thief is obviously Milo, I yelled. Milo came running in, dragging his mop behind. Now what's wrong, he asked. I pointed up. What's that giant pile of M's doing in the middle of the page? M's. Chapter 6. I thought you wanted those there, he said. I think they look rather nice. Well, they don't look nice, I said. They look sloppy. Oh, Milo said. Do you want me to sweep them all into Chapter 1? Nobody goes there anymore. Don't bother, I said. I never liked Chapter 5 anyway. And I'm still here. Am I still here or not? Asked Detective McGarrigan. You're still here, I said. Okay, just checking because I haven't said anything for a while. Okay. She turned to Milo. Milo, do me a favor. Go to the end of the book and see if Chapter 2 is printed on the inside back cover. Okay, said Milo, but as payment, I'm going to take all the punctuation from your next 3 sentences. You'd better not, you scoundrel. Do you have any idea who I am? I'll throw you in jail, you creep, you weasel, you animal, yelled Detective McGarrigan. And a bunch of other things, said Milo as he left. Chapter 7. Milo came back. That was fast, I said. A lot can happen between chapters, said Milo. 100 years can go by. Have 100 years gone by, I asked. Detective McGarrigan stroked her long, white beard. What? I don't know. Did you find Chapter 2 printed on the inside back cover, I asked. No, said Milo. I found something printed on the inside back cover, but it's the opposite of Chapter 2. What do you mean? Asked Detective McGarrigan. Milo said the thing printed on the inside book cover is called OWTRETPAHC, and so it looks like Chapter 2 written backwards. Well, that doesn't make any sense, says Detective McGarrigan. It doesn't seem to think so, said Milo. Of course, maybe it will make sense after a little reflection. And then he laughed, as if he'd made a joke, which was very stupid of him, because of course he hadn't. Will you stop that internal chuckling? I raged. The book is halfway over, and we still haven't found Chapter 2. I need to think. Oh, boy. So we're jumping from Chapter 7 now all the way to Chapter 45, I guess. Running out of time. Well, this isn't supposed to be here, said Space President Emmy Sue. No, it certainly is not, I said. I don't even think it's supposed to be part of this book. This is supposed to be a mystery story, not a science fiction adventure. Let's just ignore it, said the Space President as she landed her rocket ship on Jupiter. Maybe it will go away. Unusual. Oh, look, Chapter 8. That's better, I said. What's better? Asked Detective McGarrigan. Don't worry about it, I said. You weren't there. Now, where were we? You just made me stop chuckling because you said you needed to think, said Milo. That's right, I said. I did, and I still can't think because you people won't stop talking. So, here's what we're going to do. Everyone is going to be absolutely quiet for 3 whole chapters, understand? No talking. Beginning when? Asked Detective McGarrigan. Beginning now. 3 chapters. Chapter 12. I've got it, I said, and I snapped my fingers. Detective McGarrigan collapsed on the floor. Her face had turned purple. You idiot, I said. I said no talking. I didn't say you had to hold your breath. Her eyes fluttered open. I misunderstood, she whispered. After she recovered, I explained to her that I solved the mystery. Only one person has been acting suspiciously and shifting things around and stealing things throughout this whole book. Remember, the person who stole chapter 2 is obviously Elo. I smiled triumphantly. Who's Elo? Asked Detective McGarrigan. Not Milo, Elo. Not Elo, I said. Elo! That didn't come out right. I tried it again. Elo, but I still couldn't say it. I see what happened, I said. He stole all the M's, I think it's M's, out of the my sentences, so I couldn't say his name. His what? Asked Detective McGarrigan. Then he stashed the whole big pile of stolen M's in chapter 5, I said. That man is a menace, a monster. Oh, you mean the M, said Detective McGarrigan. She looked around the chapter. Say, where's Milo? Oh, my goodness, I said. He's missing. Oh, chapter 15. Can we skip this chapter? Asked the detective nervously. I'm superstitious, and 13 is a very unlucky number. But I was already halfway through. I spotted something in the next chapter. It looked like a handwritten note from Milo. Chapter 14. By handwritten, I meant that Milo had traced his hand and written on it so it looked like a turkey. He had labeled the turkey you. I don't know why he would want to insult you, though he doesn't even know you. I guess he's just rude. On the other side of the paper, he had typed, getting sleepy. On the other side of the paper, he had typed a message. Chapter 15, the message said, You fools have turned me into a criminal. Now I have escaped, and you will never get your precious chapter 2 back. Love, Milo. Detective McGarrigan said, I wonder if that was written by the same Milo we know. It has to be our Milo, I said. Not necessarily, said Detective McGarrigan. There are lots of people named Milo in the world. Yes, I said, but if it was written by a Milo, we don't know. He wouldn't have signed it. Love. Detective McGarrigan was impressed. You should be a detective, she said. Chapter 16. So, that's that, I said. We've solved the case. The villain is Milo. But where's chapter 2, and why did Milo steal it? Asked Detective McGarrigan. I shrugged. It was kind of a shrug that says, there are some things we'll never know. Detective McGarrigan shrugged too. It was the kind of shrug that says, a cockroach crawled down my back. That kind of thing never happened when this book had a janitor. Of course, if you stumble or happen to stumble across chapter 2, or you have any idea why Milo turned to crime, please call 925-55-FIND-2 or tweet chapter 2 book at chapter 2 book or email the detective at detmcgar@gmail.com. My personal theory is that there was never a chapter 2, and Milo only pretended there was one in order to distract me while he stole the diamond, the Hope Diamond, which I had left hidden under your bed. Go look under your bed now. If a giant blue diamond isn't there, you'll know that Milo succeeded. It's not there, is it? I was right. I guess the janitor is sore he ever tangled with a genius like me, and you have escaped me this time, Milo, but you'll make an apology someday. And on that day, I will be waiting like a cat that is waiting for a mouse who stole the Hope Diamond. And the mouse thinks it got away with it, but there will be a cat there waiting, and the cat will be me, and I will be waiting like a cat. I guess that's the end. It just kind of hangs there, like in suspense or something. Oh, what's this? Chapter 2. I can't really read it like this because it's backwards, but it might be showing properly here. I thought the book was getting off to a great start when I noticed Milo, the janitor, is working, I guess, the corner. Get out to here, Milo, I said. The book just started. Nobody wants to what? What does that say? Oh, that's much better. Let's try here again. But I haven't finished mapping, said Milo, and if I don't map, the book attracts cockroaches. Besides, you've hurt my feelings. I said, I don't care about your feelings. You know, Mike said, I have a mind to steal the charger of this book and hide it someplace you'll never find it. Then you'll be sorry. But I'll know that you stole it, I said. But if this chapter is missing, he replied. I rolled my eyes. I happen to be friends with Detective McGarrigan of the police force. She'll catch you before you get to another page. Mike got a very serious look on his face. He put his mug over his shoulders and stayed straight in the eye of the fire. Okay, that's it. I'm going to do it. That's what it says backwards. Let's see, so that was chapter 2. Kind of printed backwards, but hopefully you can see it okay. And that definitely was the end of this story. Interesting. What'd you think? So they did find the chapter 2 after all. And then I actually saw like chapter 2 stuff, the movie stuff being moved around the hospital today. Well, I think that's all the time we have. That is all the time we have for Uncle Matt's bedtime story. We did find chapter 2. I'm excited about that. I hope you'll have a great day as well. Well, we got to the end of the story. They found chapter 2. That's all the time we have for Uncle Matt's bedtime story. I hope you enjoyed that story, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.